So we're here at USA MedBed Hospital Direct Medical, and we're looking at what type of hospital bed does your insurance provider provide for you when you're getting out of a hospital, or basically what kind of bed are you going to get from insurance. So basically what I've got in front of us here is a bed that's a very standard hospital bed that's going to come from insurance. This is really very typical, and it's basically what I would call a home care bed. So you can see here in our showroom we've got a whole wide variety of different hospital beds, and these are hospital beds actually used in hospitals, whereas this bed here is primarily, home care. This is not a bed that you would ever find in a hospital. And so we'll just kind of give you an overview of what it is that you probably would want to expect. Now, the first thing you always do with a hospital bed is look at the controls. And so you've got head up and down. Down here, you've got foot up and down. And then down here, you've got bed up and down. So most of the time, hopefully, this feature here, bed up and down, is going to be good, and you don't have a crank to try to get the bed up and down. Anytime you see the up and down button here, it's going to be considered a full electric hospital bed. Now, hospital beds for home care do not have rails that go up and down. They're basically fixed or sort of locked in. They might drop down a little bit, but they're not going to get out of the way like this rail over here does on a VersaCare bed. If you can see right there, I have that rail drop down. It's completely out of the way, but the one on the top is still there. With these types of beds, now this rail that I've got on here right now is what we would call a 3/4 rail. And the way you basically would measure that is that you have from this section up is a 1/4 rail, from this section up is a 1/2 rail, and from this section up is a 3/4 rail. So there's 3 different types of rails that they can put on a home care bed, depending on what the needs of the patient are, or in some cases no rail at all, because you do get into some situations where the rails are considered entrapment. They won't let those in if it's like a long-term care facility. But one of the key things you're going to notice is different is that this is a spring bedpan, right? And so as I kind of push my hand down, I can flex into the frame of the bed. And, in some cases that might just be fine. It might be all you need. But, typically speaking, if you're a larger person and you're a little heavier, you're going to tend to start sinking into the middle. And then if you're using an air mattress or you've got other features, you're not going to get the same type of support that you're going to get on a hospital grade bed, which this is a Secure 3, one of my favorites. But you can see here, if I come in, solid metal, right? Solid metal bed deck, which you're always going to find that with a real hospital bed. And then you're going to have a different set of controls. Now, these Trendelenburg, head up and down, foot up and down, a lot of times this is used if the person slides down on the bed. You can tilt them back the other way. Sometimes for cardiac-related issues, they have to have their head above their feet. A lot of times their feet will be above the head for gout or swelling of the feet. And then you've got the same features that you just saw in the pendant, but you also got a chair position, which is very important many times if you're in bed a lot. Bed exit alarm, not really needed a lot in a home, but it's there. And then you have a scale. And then you can basically, the patient has controls on the inside rail, and you also have a set of controls on the outside rail. So that's kind of the difference theoretically between a home care bed that you get from insurance and the difference between that and a hospital bed. Now, in some cases, what you can do if you need something better than what that is going to look like, you can get a prescription from a doctor and say, hey, we're going to need a hospital bed that sits into a full chair position. We're going to need a hospital bed that has a mattress. And they will sit into a chair. Like that Stryker bed right there is in a chair position. But one thing that I also do is I put the beds in a chair position here in the showroom, so you can see the difference between a chair for each bed. So on a VersaCare bed, you sit a little bit lower. Your feet are almost touching the ground. On a Hill-Rom Progressa bed, your feet literally are on the ground. And so there's different types of chair positions, but if you're looking for something different than something like this, then you're going to need to specify with the doctor to get a prescription. Now, with us, with our hospital beds and that, a lot of times what happens is people get home from the hospital and they're going to find out, you know what, this is not going to be the level of care that we need. We need something a little bit more durable. We need something with a little bit more features. Foam mattress, air mattress. You can have foam or air on a VersaCare. Progressives are always going to be air. And we have other bed models that we sell, but that's just kind of a general overview. So a lot of the calls that we get are from people that got home, found out that they had this waiting for them, and then we're in something like this or this or this in a hospital, and they're thinking, wow, you know what, we're going to need something that's going to provide a little bit higher level of patient care. So this is kind of a good overview of what insurance companies are going to provide for a hospital bed. And like I said, not always. I mean, you can check with them, but if you're going to need something additional, and sometimes in some cases it could even be semi-electric, so the power up and down feature is not there either. But they're going to determine that based on a 5-digit code that they assess for the person as they're being discharged. So Hospital Direct Medical, USA MedBed, we have locations in San Diego, California. So we deliver beds to Los Angeles and all over San Diego, Southern California, and we shoot them up and down the coast, go into Arizona, Vegas, all those different areas. Cincinnati, Ohio, we ship to, cover a lot of the middle part of the country. And then here in our Richmond, Virginia showroom, we'll ship from here down to Florida. A lot of beds go down to Florida. A lot of go up to New York, Connecticut, and obviously here in Virginia, Northern Virginia, Carolinas. So we basically ship beds from 3 different locations. Been doing this now about 15 years. Literally have sold thousands and thousands and thousands of hospital beds. With iMedical, which I was just with, we were doing over 10,000 beds a year, beds and stretchers, and set up a lot of international hospitals. I mean, really sold hospital beds in very large quantity and have been doing this a very long time. So we're very familiar with wound care, with what you need for an air mattress. The goal is to find a bed that's going to fit your budget, that's something that's going to take care of the needs of the patient. Not always every bed is going to be exactly the right bed for the right person, but trying to figure out which bed for the budget is going to be the best one that can deliver, you know, just basic functional types of mechanics that you need. And then also figuring out, hey, do I need a foam mattress? Well, actually, that's an air mattress. Or do I need a foam mattress, which is there on the Secure 2 and the Secure 3? This is actually just to kind of give you, this is the Secure 2. Square rails, a little older bed model. Then came the Secure 3, then came the VersaCare. These two are made by Stryker. VersaCare is a Hill-Rom bed. Those are your 2 primary manufacturers, and these come with foam or air. And there's a couple other bed models, but really, when it gets down to it, these are going to be the ones that we sell the most of because they're the most reliable, the most durable, and they have the basic features with the least amount of problems. So, you know, knowing the bed business the way we do, we always want to focus on keeping people into the beds that offer the best value for the least amount of money. So if you're looking for a hospital bed and you've gotten a bed from insurance that you don't think is going to work for you, give us a call. San Diego, California, you can reach us at 858-263-4894. In Cincinnati, Ohio, and Richmond, Virginia, you can call me out here at our location, 540-327-7376, and give us a call. We're happy to consult with you and just give you an option of what's available, what the prices are going to be. A lot of times a bed like the VersaCare is not far off from what a bed like this would cost brand new. And we are distributors, so we're set up. I can sell beds from multiple different manufacturers that are home care beds. But, you know, if I'm going to sell a bed that's $1,500 to $2,000 and I have an option of sending this or sending that, I would much rather send a VersaCare or a Secure 3 bed because it's just a much better bed. You're getting a lot more for your money. And basically, these things are like little tanks. They pretty much run forever. These beds do have value. I mean, not everybody needs a full hospital bed. So if it's just short-term stuff and you're recovering from a broken hip or something, you might not even need all that. But there might be times where you do, where that's going to be a long-term bed. And these beds are actually good if you have to go up to a 2nd or 3rd story location, because all these beds back here are 500 pounds or more. So the fact that this bed comes apart, comes in pieces, and weighs, 120 pounds, whereas the other beds behind it are 500, there are times where this might be the best option or one of the only options. And then we do get into long-term care beds, which are basically a little bit more durable. They've got more of a solid mesh. It's not going to be like the spring mesh like you see right here. So a lot of different options, a lot of different hospital beds. If you're looking for hospital beds, you have questions about getting a hospital bed, we sell, Hill-Rom Stryker beds, used refurbished hospital beds. And we've been doing it, like I said, about 15 years, one of the largest distributors in the United States. Give us a call, 858-263-4894, California, West Coast, or you can always reach me, 540-327-7376, and go to our website because we have a lot of these beds on there and information and videos, www.1hospitalbeds.com. Thanks for watching our video. We're going to get into other medical equipment here at our showroom in Virginia. Not only do we have hospital beds, but we have all other types of medical equipment. We have the over-the-bed tables, all different types of items. So give us a call for more information, and thanks for watching our video.